Yo guys, Gluten-Free EDC here. I'm Brian, your gluten-sensitive representative. Today, I have an absolute grail that I want to go over with you guys today. This is another from David Lespect, the French knife maker extraordinaire. He's a master at his craft. He is easily one of my favorite makers out there. This is a true grail, guys. You've got what seems to be a beautiful paper micarta finished to a polish. In person, it is a bit more of a matte finish. It's kind of coming through a little shiny. You see the other side, look at that. The contour of the scales helps remove some of that patina so you can see it just taper off. It is lovely. In the sunlight, somehow, I swear, it is even better. Truly fantastic. You see the pocket clip, pretty cool, standard, titanium. It works fantastic. His pocket clips, you know, they're nothing crazy. They are done by hand. Really cool. He uses an interesting setup. So he has a single screw and a post. So if you were to take this off, you insert the post into the scale and then you screw that in. So there are actually 2 points holding it steady, making it a sturdy clip. He does them pretty thin, which allows there to be a decent bit of flex. And yeah, they just work really well. He always has it kind of go down and it starts to curve back over and he slightly rounds them. Never been a hot spot for me. Something also cool about this one is the backspacer. Beautiful, beautiful backspacer. Typically in micarta, I assume that's what that is. Some sort of black micarta. It's my best guess. Now they are usually all scalloped like this, so they're convex here to here. And then you can see that transition point right there. And it's concave. Really, really gorgeous. Fairly thin knife. This is just a smaller knife in general. He really started going thinner as of about 2022. That is what this knife is from. 2022 Blade Show. It's a fantastic, fantastic knife, guys. So you can see he does a hidden pivot. He actually does a press fit pivot on the one side. I forget which side it is. So you make the adjustment nice and easy. Maintenance on his knives, guys, and yes, I've taken his knives all apart, including this one. Maintenance is incredibly easy. You simply tighten the pivot until it is nice and centered, and then it's perfect. Like nothing else. The body screws, nice and simple. It is T6. The French do like to use T6 Torx screws. The idea being that it's going to show off the material. That's what I assume, at least. So hidden pivot, smaller hardware. You can show off this beautiful, beautiful micarta. I mean, why wouldn't you want to? You can see he also shadow boxes. That is a classic Lespect design factor right there. The shadow boxing. For those that aren't aware, the shadow boxing refers to the liner poking out just beyond the scale material. So it sits on there nice and flush and just adds like that little bit of oomph to it. You can see it's done on both sides, of course, to match and be symmetrical. Now, let's open this guy up. So right off the bat, you can see the action is insane. It's insane. It's hard to beat, honestly, a Lespect. It's utterly smooth and super poppy. So he does line up the pivot a little down, and then the flipper tab gives it just enough, and yeah, really good. Now, many of you are looking at that point right there and saying, ooh, doesn't that hurt? Yeah, if I do this, yeah, I could definitely poke myself and it's uncomfortable for sure. When you're deploying, my finger never touches it. And I can do it any which way, and it's totally fine. So yeah, it's unbelievably sturdy side to side. Even all the way down, it's just so good. It's super smooth. He does use stainless steel bearings, caged. The cage as well are stainless, and then the bearings themselves, I believe, are stainless steel as well, so not ceramic. The detent, however, is ceramic. Could have that wrong. It could be ceramic ball bearings in a stainless steel cage. Regardless, not, you know, I'd love to see some phosphor bronze and ceramic bearings in there, just, you know, for really just corrosion resistance. That's the main benefit that I see out of them. I know people say that it can be smoother and all, and I'm sure. I don't notice it. Like, this is it's butter smooth, but yeah. So other than that, guys, other than the action, I should say, there's the blade. This is forged by David himself, oftentimes referred to as sole-authorship. He does a random Damascus, making the steel completely one of a kind. Pretty ridiculous that he forges his own steel. It features, I believe, a flat grind. I believe that's the grind that he's putting on all of them, and then a convex edge. Really, really nice. It is sharp up to edge termination over here, which I'm sure could be an issue. It's never for me. I mean, I know how to handle this knife, so yeah, I've always been fine. It is slightly dulled, I want to say. So if we look right there, maybe just a bit. I can't really tell, especially with the camera there. But yeah, never been an issue, but something to keep in mind. The edge does go further than the scale, which is kind of cool, but you have plenty of room if you were to use this and sharpen it. No, this is not a knife that I'm using. This is something, you know, maybe you're going to use as an Amazon box destroyer. The jimping on it is fantastic. I really, really like, so for the flipper tab, you have the higher one, right? And then he does a double set. So when you're actually holding it, your thumb can land on there if you want to choke up that way, or into that harpoon shape. This is kind of a sheep's footy kind of blade to me. You've got a nice bit of belly here with the curve, a lower tip, the harpoon going, a beautiful swedge all the way down on either side. Love how he does that. This is all essentially crowned up leading to here, so that's really nice. It's super comfortable. And then what you may not notice is, first off, I have tiny hands. This knife is unbelievably small. It's about 2.75 inch blade, maybe 6 1/4 overall length. Sorry. So really not a big knife at all, and yet he makes it work. Now for me, So I have smaller hands. I wear a medium-sized glove. I'm on the smaller side of a medium-sized glove. But yeah, it works somehow, some way. So yeah, amazing knife from David Lespect. He's putting out absolute fire, guys. If you haven't heard of him, check him out. He's on Instagram. He's all over Facebook and all various groups. Definitely check him out. And as a little bonus content, for any of y'all that stuck around, figure I'll bring out my other Lespects. This is one of my favorites. I got this at Blade Show 2022. This is by way of another buddy. This is from Blade Show 2023. I did not attend, but my buddy did and picked this up, and I was fortunate enough to get it. There is a video on this one. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend. It's an amazing knife, and as you can see, another mini. I think it's actually just a touch smaller, if you can believe it. And then running out of room on this guy. A frame lock, actually. I haven't done a video on this one. So you got these two videos to come. But really wanted to share this with you guys. I'm a huge fan of David. He's a fantastic maker. I think he's just putting out absolute fire. He does everything by hand. The pivot on this one is custom by him. I believe this one is too. He's just killing it. And he always has a slip too. I do want to share that real quick. So I just had this one on hand. So he always has this. This one goes to this guy, actually. And yeah, just really nice leather slips. Come with most every one of his knives. I've had like one or two where they didn't come with it. I think sometimes they're maybe lost somewhere. I don't know. But really good. It's a friend of David's that hand makes these in France. So really cool. You got his little logo, the D and the L. So really cool. That is actually on every knife. So you can see it there. Really cool. Leaves the show side bare. Gotta love that. So yeah, that's it, guys. Hope you've enjoyed. If you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment. If you would be so kind as to drop a like, drop a subscribe if you haven't, that would be amazing. Love to get some subscribers into the channel. And feel free to message me on Instagram as well. You know, anything and everything, whatever you're thinking. Hopefully knife related though. So it's been real, guys. I hope you enjoyed. David Lespect, he's an amazing maker. Since 2005, he's been making knives, just as another little tidbit. But it's been real, guys. Take care.